Hi everybody, sorry I'm out sick again today. So what I was going to show you was what's going to happen at our next unit. Um, there's this pretty neat video I found online. Uh, I don't know if you can see really well what's going on here, but that's the picture of a blue cone, and there's this purple plane that's cutting through it. You can see you can kind of go inside of it. This is an augmented reality program, so this is like someone watching it, um, and it's like almost a hologram popping out. And the shape hopefully you're seeing there is that you're getting a circle when you cut the cone with a plane just kind of straight across it. Now, if you notice, when the plane was rotated, so now it's going at an angle, it's slicing the cone a little bit differently. And we get a shape that looks, I think, familiar. Let's see if it goes back to the other view again. It looks to me sort of like, if you look at the edges of it, like it's a parabola. It's pretty neat. That's something you've studied for um, a long time in algebra. So it's interesting that that's a shape that comes up if you take a cone and slice it a different way. And then at some point, we're going to look at, we're going in, zooming in. All right. So we get a parabola. Now we have a different equation of a plane that cuts through the cone. Well, we get that shape. So this is a shape that's sort of like a circle, but not quite, because it looks like it's a little bit wider than it is long, or it's a little bit longer than it's wide. You can see how it's cutting it differently this time. And that shape we're going to give the name of an ellipse. Some people like to call that an oval, but we're going to call this an ellipse. We'll do another equation here. Now this one you have to get the right perspective on it to see it. It looks sort of like a V there. This one is going to be eventually called a hyperbola. We're going to get a better view of this in a minute. That's one of two different sections that will form this thing called a hyperbola. So this whole unit, we're going to be studying these four shapes, which are really representations of how a plane can intersect with a cone. So if you go over here, here's the other demo I wanted to show you. So once again, here are the two cones that are on top of each other. And you'll see why that's important in a second. Right now, with this plane that slices through one of the cones parallel to the bases, you get a circle. And you can make the circle smaller or bigger if you move up the slicing plane. If I start to rotate the plane, you'll see you start to get an ellipse. An ellipse is really sort of like a circle that's been stretched a little bit. And you can move it up and move it down, get bigger and smaller ellipses. And if I keep going, at some point, you get this other shape called a hyperbola. So a hyperbola is, you can see it has two different branches to it. That's the official word for it, these different U's. It looks sort of like a parabola, but we're going to find out eventually that they're definitely not parabolas. They have special properties that are distinct. Now the trick is, can I get it to be a parabola? Let's see if I can figure that out. Can I get it? I don't know why I'm having so much trouble getting a parabola. Well, I may not be able to figure out how to get the parabola to show up. I'm a little bit annoyed by that. Oh well. Well, I verified that you can't get a parabola with this. I thought you just had to have it parallel to the, let's see, I go like this. Yeah, somewhere between hyperbola and ellipse, you should be able to get a parabola, but oh well. Like right around, I don't know why it's not saying that's a parabola, but yeah, it should be. All right, so anyway, those are the four different shapes that we are going to be studying in this